Please hang up and try again.
Ooh, I'm a ghost, and welcome to the Halloween edition of the People Power Fantasy Football. I turned into like Dracula in the middle of that. Hey, I'm Ryan Harper, and I'm here with
Nick Lamb.
And welcome to this week's edition of the podcast for our Fantasy Football League. All right, lots of stuff went down because the trade deadline just ended today, and with that being said, we'll get into that later. There was a crazy move that happened last minute, and, well, Lamb's got a lot to say about it. I'll just put it that way. So, first things first. Let's go on and get into the Week 8 recap. It was a fun week. The two of us here, the Snowhawks and Snowflakes, battled hard. The first time we had a matchup, I think we scored 130 points total. Pathetic. This time, I came away with a victory again. I'm still undefeated. 200 points to his 169. Now, Lamb, go on and explain how you could have won this matchup.
Well, I was looking at my thing, and I'm playing, I was happy playing Juju Smith, and you hacked into my account and benched my whole team, and I'm kidding.
I am the New England Patriots of fantasy football, so.
Yeah, well, I had either Juju Smith or Golden Tate playing. I was considering playing Juju Smith, and I started thinking, Golden Tate's the number one receiver. Juju Smith sure isn't going to get as many balls thrown his way or targets as Antonio Brown would. There's just no way. He's going to be a factor, but and apparently he heard me. He was like, all right, fuck you, Lamb. I'm going off.
Yeah, Marvin Jones said otherwise. I'm taking all the targets today. Fuck off Golden Tate. And who would have thought that Juju Smith-Schuster would get the franchise record for longest touchdown in Steelers history? That's crazy. Fun game. Could have totally that one play, that 97 touchdown would have won you the game by 2 points. That's how crazy. That's why when Mark is sitting here saying, I won, all it takes is one play. All it takes is one play. You can either win or lose from one play. But we'll go on. So then Brown and Cupulator took on Luck of the Irish, and Brown and Cupulator won. That was a relatively low-scoring game. Then we had Two Girlies, One Cup, who put up over 200 points. Dominated Beer Money. Made Beer Money his bitch. Treated him like the Indianapolis Colts. 87 points is all he could put up. 87 points. That's how? My kicker can get 87 points. Then you had
the Colts got.
What?
Isn't 87 yards how many yards the Colts got that game?
I don't know. I don't follow the Colts. There's nothing to follow on the Colts. They're so fantasy irrelevant this year. I have no idea. Then you had Mark. He took on Jimbo Bader, and Mark dominated him. And then we had Average Joe's beating Green around the gills. And then we had Rams bringing it up the rear, defeating Total Domination.
Well, it was a good week. Well, not for me, but as usual. So next week, week 9, we'll have the Luck of the Irish going up against Two Girlies, One Cup. The Joker going up against Beer Money. The Snowhawks going up against Green around the gills.
Going down, fool.
We have Average Joe's going up against Rams bringing it up the rear. And Brown and Cupulator going up against Snowflake, the New York Giants of fantasy football.
Now, would you be the New York Giants or the 49ers at this point?
Well, I've only won one game instead of the Giants, so I just went ahead and said I was the Giants.
Okay, I get it. Nice.
And then it's Mark's team going up against Total Domination.
Mark's team. We don't even pronounce his ridiculous name.
No, it's just letters to me at this point. I'm not even going to try anymore.
Speaking of Mark, Mark, and Lamb were on Xbox getting ready for the noon games to start. And Mark, I forgot who he had. He had some tight end. And he said something, and we didn't really comment on it because, you know how tight ends are. Tight ends are, unless you got the handful of really good ones, they're hit or miss. So, whatever. And whatever was said, it was enough to make Mark go pick up Zach Miller. And he's just like, hey, guys, I picked up Miller. And I was thinking, Lamar Miller? Why the hell did Bader drop Lamar? He's like, no, Zach Miller. Well, anyway, during that game, I'm sure you guys have seen the video at this point, that touchdown catch that was not a touchdown catch, even though it was. I swear to God, he walked off the field. I mean, in fact, when they called it not a touchdown, he was on the bench, like, pissed. Not at the leg injury, but at the ridiculous call. And Lamb had said they had taken him out of the game, and I swore I saw him in there. Clearly, I was wrong. That injury is not just a potential career-ending injury. They had said today, I read reports that he could potentially lose that leg. Like, that's fucking crazy.
It is crazy. I think they were saying something about, like, it ruptured, like, the artery in his leg or whatever.
Yeah, like, holy crap. And that being said, I know the call was not a touchdown, but if you look at the call, if you look at the play, it was a touchdown. Clear as fucking day. That guy had that happen to him, and he still caught that football. That's fucking crazy. And he didn't even get credit for it. I'm protesting. Not really, but I'm thinking about it. Not really, but I'm sad, kind of. Actually, I was kind of happy because it was Mark's tight end, to be honest, and he didn't get the touchdown. So the power rankings, the top three are still the same. You have me. You have me at number 1, Mark at number 2, Brown and Coopy later at 3. 3 weeks in a row, those 3 teams have still been at the top. Then you have 2 girlies, 1 cup moving up 2 spots to 4. Rams bringing it up the rear, going to number 5. Average Joes moving up 2 spots to 6. Total Domination going down 3 spots to 7. Beer Money is at number 8, and they fall 3. The Joker is at 9, and they fall 1. Green Around the Gills falls 1 spot to 10. And then the bottom 2 are the same as the last 2 weeks. You have 11 is Luck of the Irish, and 12 Snowflake. So still holding it up at number 12, Lamb. How's it going down there?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's kind of lonely a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. Very depressing, very depressed down here. But. You may be
in our rankings. You might be number 12, but you do have Watson, and that guy's incredible to watch. What do you have to say about his record playing rookie season? He is, I believe, 2 or 3 touchdowns away from Peyton Manning's record rookie touchdown season, and he's only played half a season.
I'm saying I low-key think he's being controlled by somebody playing on Madden. He's every time they get, he's just chunking it down the field.
That's crazy. That team is nuts. Like, and the crazy thing is, him and DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller are just wonderful compliments to this. Like, basically, Andy Dalton needs to watch footage of Watson playing, and he needs to watch how Watson throws it to his good players, and they have success. If Andy Dalton did that, he would have success. Like, it's not that hard to comprehend. Throw it to the good player. I mean, that last touchdown that Hopkins got, it was like a 2-yard shuffle pass, but it was one of his best players on his offense, and Hopkins ran it for 70 yards for a touchdown. You put it in good players' hands, they will make plays happen. And some people don't understand it. But, man, that guy is amazing to watch. Absolutely incredible. That game should have been on TV. What game did we have? It was boring.
The Dallas and Redskins
game. Oh, my God, the Dallas game. Like, I mean, that wasn't, like, super boring or anything, but, like, knowing that the Seattle game was going on was just, like, killing me. I'm like, we could be watching, Russell Wilson and Watson just slogging it down the field back and forth.
But it's the quote-unquote America's Game of the Week.
Yeah.
All right. And it sucks, all that rain and shit. Like, I just want to see somebody just chunk the ball down the field.
Yeah, no, you're not lying, man.
All right. Well, let's talk about some NFL trades that happened today. Well, one last night, which was the Patriots trading their backup.
Their only backup.
Yeah. Good old Jimmy to the 49ers. Which now kind of good for, I guess, 49ers, but for Patriots, if Brady gets hurt, they're fucked.
Oh, absolutely. I know he's doing great, but he's 40 years old. Like, all it takes is one sack, landing the wrong way, and he's out. Who's their backup? Edelman? Isn't he hurt? Or Amendola? Yeah. Whichever one's hurt. He's the only other one that throws footballs on that team.
Yeah. I mean, but knowing how New England is, they'll just get like a fucking cashier from McDonald's, and he'll be a stud within a year with Belichick's coaching.
No shit.
It's outrageous. And then, interesting enough, that Jay Ajayi got traded from the Miami Dolphins.
That's funny.
To the bandwagon team of the year, Philadelphia Eagles.
That's funny.
For a fourth-round pick.
Jay Ajayi. I have him in the Dynasty League, so I can sit here and talk shit, and it's okay. His first run of that game was for 21 yards. You know what he finished that game with?
26.
26 yards, you think? I mean, I thought it was less. Let me double check. I have it written down something different, so now you're making me second guess myself. He had 23. That's what I had written down. 23 yards. How you start the game with a 21-yard run and you end it with 23? Like, how? He's that bad. Yeah. I mean, I know that line is awful. If you watch the game, like he gets the ball, and before he secures it, he's getting tackled half the time. But still, man, like, jeez.
I think that the whole offensive line just had Baltimore's defense on their fantasy leagues.
Yeah, they lost 40-0. That would make sense.
Embarrassing. And the one that broke my heart, but then made Ryan celebrate, was the Carolina Panthers traded Kelvin Benjamin, their number one receiver, to the Buffalo Panthers.
Kelvin Benjamin may have been number one on the depth chart, but he's not number one by skill. I mean, that's proven when we went 15-1 without him.
What did I say last year? Somebody needs to break his leg.
Yeah.
So we can start winning games.
He continually walks off the field at practice because he gets frustrated. He doesn't want to be there. He shows up overweight, after the offseason. Like, I don't like the dude. I don't own a jersey from him, and I own a lot of Panthers jerseys. I never liked him, never will. Now he's going to go and be a stud, watch, but I'm glad he's gone.
Now, better than Antonio Brown.
Now Funches can shine, rightfully so.
Lucky enough, I have him on fantasy. Not like it matters. My season's done, but, Well, I've always liked Funches, too.
Yeah, I love Funches. I think he's the more talented wide receiver, so I'm happy with the trade. I wish we would have got more than a third and a seventh, but, it is what it is.
I think we should just trade our offensive coordinator, too, but I don't think they wouldn't want that.
Nobody wants him. You can't even give him one. You can't pay somebody to take him right now.
It's crazy.
All right, I have this game called, Smiley Face or Frowny Face, and I'm going to basically name off to Lamb, and he's going to give his opinion on everyone's first pick of the draft, okay? And even his own pick, we're going to go through the 12 teams in the league, and I'll comment on it as well, but he had no idea I was doing this, so this is completely fresh to him. So down the list, I drafted with my first pick Le'Veon Bell. Do you think I'm happy with that, or do you think I'm sad because of that?
Well, I mean, I think you're happy because it's Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's an obvious one. Tony drafted Jay Ajayi with his number one pick. Do you think he's happy or sad with that?
That's just as bad as what I did. feel pretty sad if I was him.
Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed. I mean, I talked to him last week. I was actually trying to get a Ajayi from him, and he's like, "Man, he's my first pick. He's worth fucking everything on the planet, woo." And he's not. He's not.
Word for word.
He's not even worth the toilet paper I wipe my ass with after I take a big fat diarrhea shit. Chris Clegg took Tom Brady with his first pick. It was in the second round. It wasn't a first round pick. It was a second round pick. Do you think he's happy or sad with that pick?
I mean, it's Brady. You can't really go wrong with Brady.
Yeah.
It was still kind of early.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I wouldn't take a quarterback that early, but he's played wonderful. I mean, he's a top 5 fantasy quarterback, so you can't be sad with that. And he's got Todd Gurley, sitting behind him too on his lineup. So I think he's happy with that. Mark took Zeke with his first pick. It was it was a keeper obviously, but it was Zeke was his first pick. But before the suspension, so pretending the suspension is not there, do you think he's happy with how Zeke's been playing?
I mean, he's not as good as he was last year. He's had 2 good games, and the rest are just decent.
Yeah, that was my thing. If we would have played this game 2 weeks ago, I think I would have said sad. But then he's had these 2 breakout games, so I think he's happy now. Absolutely.
Yeah. If he's asked about after the Denver game, it would have been just
9 yards, man. Black Brad took Antonio Brown at this first pick. That's obviously he's happy.
Of course.
We don't need to talk about that one. Jimbo, now this is a tricky one. Jimbo drafted A.J. Green, okay? And then traded A.J. Green to me for Odell Beckham. So,
ooh.
Odell Beckham, we're going to say his first pick was, because that's who's on his team. Do you think he's happy or sad?
Well, I mean, I feel like he's happy that he got the inventor of the dab, but sad with his performance.
Yeah, because he's fucking out for the whole year.
Yeah.
White Brad picked David Johnson for his first pick. Obviously, he's sad because he's hurt. Dustin took Aaron Rodgers. That's another sad because he's hurt. Kyle took Gronkowski. Think he's happy or sad with Gronk's stats?
I mean, it's Gronk. He usually does pretty well. He usually try to get you some points.
Some points, It's
it's
so hard for Gronk, He only puts up, double digits every week, I think, but 2 this year.
You still need to wreck, somehow come down with it, no matter who's on him. Cheating ass.
Steve took Julio Jones with his first pick. What do you think his feelings are with Julio this year? So far.
So far, I mean, Julio's had, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown?
He's had 1 touchdown. He's had 1 game over 100 yards. He's ranked 22nd out of wide receivers in our fantasy format. So just inside wide receiver 2 range. See, I'm going to say he's sad because if you're spending your first round pick on somebody, you definitely want wide receiver 1, running back 1 material. And he's barely in wide receiver 2. So I'd be happy playing him, but not where I drafted him.
I mean, even I said that the Falcons weren't going to be good this year, or as good as they were last year.
Well, yeah, same thing with Carolina. Like you can't, when you put up that many points on offense, you're not going to repeat that year after year. Those are record-setting offenses that Carolina had, and then Atlanta had, and there's always a regression when you have those kind of numbers. Doug took DeMarco Murray, but traded DeMarco Murray last week for Des Bryant. So let's actually go off both of these. How do you think he felt about DeMarco all year?
I don't know. Pretty, I guess, decent. He's been kind of consistent.
See, I would say sad again because where he drafted him, he hasn't been producing. But I'd be happy with him on my team if I got him later in the draft. So now that he has Dez, I had I made the trade. So. What do you think about the Dez trade? Would you be happy to have Dez as a for your first round pick?
For my first round pick, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, he's had 4 touchdowns. He hasn't. His thing is that offense. They're not targeting him as much, but he's getting the touchdowns. Like that's what's saving him. He hasn't had a 100-yard game all year, but maybe with the suspension possibly happening, maybe that'll get him the more targets because they're going to pass more. Maybe I don't know, but I had 4 touchdowns with the guy. I was completely happy with him. I just traded him because I wanted another running back. To be honest, I didn't trade him because I hated him. And then Lamb, yours was Dez because I traded you for Dez earlier in the year. But your second pick was Marshawn Lynch. So we're actually going to go to your second pick because this is a very interesting position or player at this position. What are your thoughts with Marshawn's production this year? Everyone thought he was going to come back and be beast mode. Clearly, that's not the case. Do you think it's him? Do you think it's that offensive line? Or do you think it's that offense in general?
I thought I got on my first pick.
No, your first pick was Dez.
Huh. Okay. I believe you.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I thought, Marshawn is going to be fucking unstoppable, but, just pooped out.
Yeah. Hopefully he comes back from this suspension and, ready to kick ass. That was my game. That was the game I created, the smiley face or sad face game.
When he got suspended for how they said it on the letter that the Oakland Raiders got attacking the ref.
Yeah, so stupid. Real quick, before you go into the predictions, I just was curious with what your thoughts on were both of these. Do you think Andrew Luck is going to play a single snap this season? They're clearly not going to make the playoffs at the rate they're going. Would you risk your franchise quarterback to come back early, just maybe get another win, maybe 2? Do you think he'll play at all this year, though?
What are the Colts' record? They're like 2. They only got 2 wins, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I think. Let me double check. They got 2 wins. Yeah, they got 2 wins. Yep.
Well, I know for sure it's gonna be hard to win that division with Texans and playing the way they are. Don't even think they're gonna get a wild card. I probably would just stick with whoever they got now. Who they got from New England, who went to NC State.
Yeah.
I'll just
write it out. I think they should, and they'd be dumb to try to get a few extra wins when you could just have this. You're not making the playoffs, and get this better. I don't know. Get a better draft pick. I don't know, man. I wouldn't risk bringing him back. It seems pointless at this moment. Now, Elliott had 24 hours to appeal his suspension. I didn't hear anything in the last 24 hours about him appealing it. Did you?
The last thing I saw was his lawyer didn't want him to.
Okay.
And I think that was last night.
Okay, and I think that's a smart thing because whenever this broke yesterday or Sunday, whenever it was, me and Lamb and Mark were talking about it. I'm not an Elliott owner by any means, and no, I'm only in 2 leagues, but I don't have him in either league. Lamb owns him in a league, and Mark owns him in this league, and they want him to play. They're like, "Oh man, he needs to fucking appeal it, and, just keep appealing it." And I
didn't say that. That was Mark who was saying that.
Well, you were agreeing with him, so you're saying it without saying it. And then I told him, I was like, "Well, look at it this way, guys." I'm like, he gets suspended. He's out 6 games. He comes back the second round of the playoffs. It's a lot better than missing the entire playoffs. So I hopefully for you guys, he doesn't appeal it because that would be terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't hear anything. No breaking news popped up on my screen. Nothing that I saw on the actual website. I'll look more, I guess, later tonight in case I missed it. But it looks like he's just going to serve it.
Which I think he should. I mean, you did it. Just man it and serve it.
Absolutely. But, all right, sir. Let's get into these predictions.
Alrighty. Well, last week I was ahead by a good margin up against Ryan, and a little bit Tempest was trailing behind. Well, this week now the score is I have 18 along with Tempest, and then Ryan is right behind us with 17.
Boom, baby.
So he's closing in. Hopefully I'll get some right and he'll just go back down. All right. Well, so for the Thursday night game, we had the Buffalo Panthers.
Yeah, really.
Up against the Jets for the Thursday night Color Rush game.
I'm gonna go Buffalo.
Buffalo. I guess I'll go them too, since they're basically 2015 Carolina. right, we have the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons at Carolina. I'm going with Panthers, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going Carolina. I can't root against Carolina.
All right, both Panthers. All right, here's a game I'm kind of think will be good. Well, good for me anyway.
By the way, you have the most exciting voice. This is how you sound when you talk. The next game is, well, it could potentially be exciting, this game. Come on, man. Get excited, man. Be proud to be on this podcast. You know, people, they're going to fall asleep listening to that tone of voice.
All right, well, for me, this is going to be a fun game because it's the Texans playing against the Colts. So Deshaun Watson's going to give me some more points.
This isn't easy. This is oh, fuck, I can't say that. Every time I say that, the opposite happens.
I was about to say, watch out now. Because weeks ago you said, oh, Denver's easily going to beat the shit out of the Giants.
But I still can't believe that. That was like the downfall of Denver, man. But yeah, you know who I'm going.
Texans.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And then this probably be the game of the week. The Chiefs at the Cowboys.
Oh man, at Cowboys, you said?
Yes, in Dallas at the Cowboys.
With or without Z? Because man, I'm just gonna go Dallas with or without him. At home. Yeah, I'm gonna go Dallas.
That's what I was saying too. Because it's without him, I feel like they could just.
You're going Dallas?
Yeah.
Then you know what? Put me down for Kansas City. Just to we've agreed on everything so far. So yeah, just put me down for Kansas City. Then that's gonna be a good ass game, actually, dude. That potentially could be a good ass game.
Yeah. Hopefully. Then we have the Sunday night game, the Oakland Raiders at Miami.
Oh my god, I don't even want to watch this game. Well, I'm going Oakland. Amari Cooper and Crabtree are going to go off on this game.
All right, well, just to go a little different, I'll go with the odd man out and go Dolphins.
Really? Oh man, that's brave.
Just why not?
Yeah.
Then we have the Monday night game, which will be the Detroit Lions at Green Bay.
I'm going Detroit Lions.
Lions. Oh, you know what? I'll go Green Bay as well.
Yeah, that's a tough one because it's in Green Bay, so and they have a lot of weapons. So I mean, that could easily happen. But I'm just going to go Detroit because why not?
Right, yeah, and this is good Green Bay because when they played without Rodgers, it was Saints, and they almost won that one. Just last quarter got to them.
Right.
All right, so that's our predictions for.
That is our no. It's not our It's not our predictions. It's our spook addictions. Ah.
Woo.
Well, all right. That's all I got. You got anything else, Lamb, to tell these wonderful people?
No, just happy Halloween, woo, wee, boo.
Woo, wee, boo. Right on. Well, hey, we'll see you next week. And, oh, by the way, Doug, I believe I'm playing you. Yeah, I have 4 of my running backs on bye, but I'm still coming for that shit, nigga. You are going down. I am going to be 9-0, and you're going to fucking be my peasant when I'm done with you. That's all I got. Bye. You gonna say bye, Lamb?
Bye.